Let's get into this Basketball Wives. Episode 1, season. What season is this? I can't keep up. I have to look. Because you know it's been like Miami and now you got this. So I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up to see. But anywho, y'all. So we start off. Let's start off like this. So y'all remember what we left off at? Evelyn was suing OG, right? For defamation. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to mean this. Evelyn is colorist, is a colorist, not is colorist. Evelyn is a colorist. Shawnee got it in her. Like, a lot of people got it in them. And one thing that I can't stand is when somebody that look like me, I ain't gonna say no names, Malaysia, somebody Kristen that look like me tell another girl who's darker than me that they're not experiencing colorism. It is clear that Evelyn likes to make little jokes. Even when Mika felt some type of way about Tammy telling her, like, I beat your black ass, something she said to her, like, it do come off as colorist, because you could say that's what my mama used to say to us, but is that what you really meant when you talking to me and I'm way darker than you? Like, seriously? But Evelyn has always had a nasty attitude, always said the wrongest thing. And for you to be like, you didn't use that gorilla emoji. First off, y'all been talking about how OG looked like a man when she first came on. OG wigs was bogus. She's strong. She's aggressive. She this. Y'all been throwing like stuff towards her that was already knocking her down. You never spoke like that about no lighter woman. Not even when you was like trashing Tammy. You might mark her walk. You might talk about her wigs to begin with, but you ain't never say nothing like that or make no gifs, whatever they been out for years. You ain't never put no King Kong emoji up. Like, come on, girl. Ain't nobody stupid. Just like the Ling Ling. Like, she has racist and colorist written all over her. She likes to say things of that tone, and people don't never hold her accountable. And then you be like, I'm Afro-Latina. And what does that mean? Somebody can be whatever they want to call themselves these days. So, what I'm supposed to care? I don't care how much African men you done did whatever you did with, whatever. You ain't in a part of my struggle. OG struggle. A girl that's darker than OG struggle. And when you said what you said, trying to comfort her, as if Chad Ochocinco ain't darker than her. Like, that's the thing that kill me with a lot of people. Y'all would date our men and, oh, they black asses is fine. But when it come down to us, our black asses is ugly. Where? It's a lot. But that's what we left off at. I just wanted to, they was trying to treat her on the reunion. So when I saw OG came back, I was like, how they gonna treat her now? And I don't even like the fact that Jackie, I didn't think that Jackie, I know you live in Wonderland, but come on now. You done had your own beef. Did she, like, come on now. Evelyn is a below the belt type of bride. It ain't nothing classy about her. It ain't nothing that will make you look at her as a role model. I don't know what she's done before this show for her children to think that she's a role model, but it's nothing role model-ish about Evelyn. When J. Cole made that song, She Shallow But he's talking about her. I ain't gonna say he was talking about her specifically, but she fit the lyrics to, you can't even read a script. Girl, I just can't, y'all. Like, I hate it. I hate when somebody tries to tell you your experience is not your experience. It is. I hate that. So, do you really think? Yes, I do. That's how I felt. I'm not just throwing out no race card, no colorist card. I don't feel like going through those boundaries of life with every situation, but you pick up on stuff and you see stuff. So y'all can say what y'all want to say, but that's my opinion and that's how I feel. But when we start off the show, with Shani or whatever, and she's talking about how before the world went to hell, how she said it or whatever, and she's talking to her kids, and all them are saying, they're going to play basketball and they're going to, live their lives. So Shani was practically, I guess, thinking about living her life. Like, her kids are grown. Like, she has the right to go ahead and, do what makes her happy. Not saying that she ain't been happy before, but you know how if you're the type of mom that make everything about your children, it's time for you to spread your wings or whatever. So I really, it's really interesting to see, I guess, where her journey's going to go with her children not being, there. So then we get to Evelyn, and she's cooking, and what's that girl name? Fifi? Is it Fifi? I don't. Lance Stevenson's children's mother or child's mother. She gets on there. I don't like her or whatever. I didn't like the way she was really coming for OG either. And they talking about she went fake designer and all that stuff. But she comes on there and her Evelyn are talking. And Evelyn like, girl, you gonna help me cook? And the girl acting like she can't cut an avocado. And Evelyn like, so what do you do? And my thing is that too, like, it's an avocado. You don't have to cut it perfectly. She's like, I'm going to cut my hand. Girl, if you don't set that thing on a plate and cut it from one side to the next, if you can't just cut it like that, it's fine. Ain't nobody going to judge you. And so, Evelyn talking to her. Then here we go with the fake crying. She brings up OG. And the girl, she's asking her, like, well, what really happened? Like, she's like, yeah, she's sitting up there. You know how she do that ugly cry and show all them teeth. Acting as if she's sending me. And then the girl look at her like, why you crying? Like, don't cry. Or whatever. So she get up and, kind of hug her. But she looking at her like, what just happened that you was just talking out all of a sudden? Like, I hate that. I hate when Evelyn do that. Like, it pisses me off because it's nothing positive about you. And you always crying like you're the victim. You're not the victim. You came for OG. OG never thought about you. You was never on her radar. And you thinking that you're the bully, and now all of a sudden you act like you're the victim. Girl, go to hell. So, I don't get it. So, she want to also act like she had been baptized and all this. Y'all know the first antics after Ocho Cinco was, I'm on a yellow, fix my life. I want to live positive. A lot of women were saying, I always put my hands on people or throw bottles at people. And you do. You do. What did you do in the last episode? And then when you fail, you try to act like, oh, gee. Really was that aggressive towards you. Yeah, Evelyn, sure. So she gets to talking and doing all of that. Then you get to the Jackie. I'm sorry. Yeah, Jackie and OG had a conversation too. Jackie basically told OG that, she was asking her what happened. And she was like, well, I really can't get into detail because, it's still a lawsuit. But she's trying to sue me as if what she said wasn't what she said. And Jackie like, so do you really think she's a colorist? If I didn't think it, would I say it on national TV that I didn't think it? But my thing is, if I didn't think it, why would I put that just out there? Yes, she's a colorist. And LG was like, yes. And Jackie like, well, I don't feel like what she said. I didn't take it as her being a colorist, but I'm just sitting there like, and you could see OG face like, bye, like seriously. And I'm just sitting there like, how do you not see it as that? As OG's friend, I'm not saying your friends are always right, but if you really listen to what this girl is saying and stuff that she's doing, Come on, Jackie Christie. We better than that. But I guess the apple don't fall too far from the tree after what that daughter said about her versus her sister, right? If I had some wine, I'll sip it. But anywho, OG is like basically telling her she stand on what she said and don't try to change my man because it ain't changing. So then you have Jackie wanting to asking her about Shani, and then OG like, well, I really don't have a beef with Shani. I really don't. I would prefer that me and Shani, have a conversation. And she like, well, let me get that together or whatever. And so Shani and Jackie had they love talking. Shani talks to Jackie about her leaving to go to Houston. She like, if Jackie take it well, then she know everybody else will. So she's telling her like, my kids doing this, my kids doing that. I think it's time for me to relocate. And Jackie like, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do for your children. You have to. So Jackie was down for it. So Shani was like, whoo, sweat off her forehead. So Jackie comes to her and was like, she want her to talk to OG, and she was like, yeah, we can have a conversation or whatever. I can't take away from her experience and say, and I'm like, I said, that's how you feel now? Okay. She like, I can take away from her experience and I can see where she's coming from. I would love to hear like to hear what she has to say. So now Jackie bells is ringing, her wheels are rolling, and she's starting to feel like, how can I get everybody together? But her and Malaysia still got beef. So Jackie, all of that stuff. So on the next scene, you have Malaysia and what's that girl name? I said it's clear as day. I think it's Malaysia, Evelyn, and Phoebe. Is it Phoebe? I think it's Phoebe. Yeah. They have like a little sit down because Evelyn thinks that when her, I'm sorry I left that out. When her and Phoebe was talking, Phoebe is getting back with a guy that she used to date that cheated on her. And she feels as though she is looking for him to, mess up again. And so Evelyn like feeling like, I guess if you're thinking like that, then what's wrong? Because, when you're dating, you're supposed to be happy and you gotta let some things go. So she called Malaysia pretty much so they can, I guess, have a conversation with Phoebe, but they're taking her to a cooking class because she can't cook. So she's still, they all talking, and Malaysia like, well, how would you serve me if I was your man? And so Phoebe give her the plate or whatever. She's like, or something like that. And Phoebe started laughing like, nah, I wouldn't serve you like that. But they all giggling, so they're asking her, and Malaysia's like, tell me about your new boo. So she's basically telling her like, we used to date, he cheated on me or whatever, and I was thinking we was one thing and he was doing something else. So she got reservations. So Evelyn like, well, if you're gonna give him a chance, you got to give him a chance. You got to stop looking at the negative and start thinking about what's positive. Like, if he's trying to date you again and y'all trying to, have something different, just talk to him. Malaysia like, yeah, talk to the man. Talk to your man. Let him know. Tell him how you feeling. So they get to going through that or whatever. And as they going through that, I guess, am I in focus? Because it's like I'm in focus. Sorry, y'all. But as they going through that or whatnot, I guess Phoebe goes on they go on the baseball day, her and the guy, he like a former football player or whatever. And I always, my best friend used to say, once you mess with somebody in the industry, baby, you can always have you somebody, because people gonna come. They are going to come, and they are going to come again. Whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, whatever, they gonna be here. They gonna come. Trust me and believe it. They're going to come. and they ain't playing no games. So they was having a conversation, and Phoebe basically was telling him how she felt. And, you know, she was like, I want this to be different than it was. You know, after what happened with you cheating on me. And he was like, well, you was with your ex. She's like, no, I wasn't. And then she felt like it was a misunderstanding, because he's trying to say that the reason why he was with the other young lady is because she was with Lance Stevenson. And she like, but I wasn't. And that be the thing that kill me with people. Like, don't act like what I did was something reason why you did it, or pretend as though, like, I feel like it was kind of manipulative. I don't think that that was really the reason why he cheated. But if he wanted to tell her that, who am I to say he lying? But if I had some wine, I'll sip it. So they was at the batting cage and stuff, and, you know, they end up leaving from there. So then you have, like, Evelyn had a conversation with Malaysia. She was asking, when Evelyn and Phoebe and them was talking, she was asking about, I'm sorry, let's introduce Lamar Odom's girlfriend. She came in, the girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, his kid's mother. She came into the picture because Shani Brown got into the picture. She was meeting with Evelyn before Evelyn met with Phoebe in Malaysia. So I'm sorry about that. So she was talking to her. It was Evelyn, Shani, and her, and she was just saying how she was moving. She was saying how she was like hurt about Lamar Odom, like his antics with their children. She wasn't saying like she wanted him or anything. It was just like she wanted him to do better, because what you're doing is hurting our kids, which is understandable. What he is doing is hurting the kids, from their reputation of him being their father, to the fact that they almost lost their father, to knowing that he's an addict. You know, it's a lot of things that come with being children of addicts. It's a hard thing, and to have it displayed on such a big screen is even harder. So she was basically just saying that, and, you know, saying that she wanted to get to know everybody. So then you fast forward and you have Evelyn let her meet Malaysia. So Malaysia is talking, and Evelyn was asking Malaysia, like, do you think that you could ever talk to Jackie? And Malaysia still got love for Jackie, and Jackie still had love for Malaysia. Malaysia just feel like Jackie was bogus, which is crazy, because it's not like Jackie not known to spread lying rumors on her friends. Y'all remember what happened when people was getting too close, and the Drea thing and all that type of stuff. So it's not like you don't see Jackie as that person. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you are guilty by your reputation. So she's just like, I got love for her. You know how Malaysia talk? I got love for her. I can listen to her. And she talk with her hands. And she was like, but, you know, she's like that crazy auntie. Everybody started laughing. So Evelyn acting like she happy. Like, now she's the Jackie of the group. But Jackie being herself too. She trying to get everybody together. So I guess in the midst of that conversation, Evelyn sets Jackie and Malaysia up. But it seemed like Jackie knew more about the setup than Malaysia. Malaysia was like, are you kidding me? When Jackie walked in happy. You know, she had this look on her face as if she was like, I think it's the look of what's going to happen. I don't think Jackie really had an attitude. I think Jackie didn't know how to approach Malaysia because of what has happened in their past. So I think if Malaysia, even though I get Malaysia being mad, if Malaysia would have at least said, hey, how you doing? Or if Evelyn would have said, I'll say this, if Evelyn would have been a better person of being a near in the middle of the situation, mediator, I was about to say a narrator, a mediator, I would have said, Jackie and Malaysia, I brought you guys here because I heard that in both of y'all voices that you guys would like to talk. And I think this is the perfect time with everything that's going on in the world that we get some things off our chest. Now, we can do it like women and talk one by one. Don't yell, and I'll be the mediator and help the best way I can. And I think that kind of would have took some edge off. But Malaysia wasn't feeling it. Malaysia felt like she had an attitude. Jackie, on the other hand, was like, I don't know how to take Malaysia. So she just sat there, she looked at the menu. And Evelyn like, so nobody's going to speak? Will you bring two people together that don't want to really talk to each other, or they're prideful and they're not ready to admit that they want to talk to each other? You cannot be the timid one. You have to be the person that's going to spark up a conversation and ask questions that's going to get them to talking. So Malaysia was like, y'all can have this. I'm up out of here. I don't get, And I'm like, you're leaving? She's like, yeah. Like, deuces. Got up, packed her stuff, and was on up out of there. And then Jackie was like, I was open to the conversation. And it was like, Jackie, you was open to the conversation. It had to be better than a silent treatment. Like, I understand you trying to defend yourself, but she feels as though you snaked her. She feels as though you, what's the word I'm looking for? You intentionally tried to hurt her. And as her friend, as somebody that she see as one of her day ones on this particular show, even though y'all had beef before, she thought that y'all cleared that air. She wasn't expecting another breath of something happening. So yeah, on top of that, Jackie wants to throw Shania a little get together so everybody can tell her bye-bye. But before then, she wants to kind of have a talk with, have Shania and OG have a talk first. So things are starting to go like down one by one with this pandemic. They were showing people going to the stores, they running out of tissue, the virus is killing people. They start showing those numbers, like it starts trying to show you like how the virus is really like starting to take over America or whatever. So everybody like basically saying they scared. Like Evelyn was crying like this is crazy. Jackie was on the phone talking to OG, and then I guess the vendors first to talk to her vendors because to throw the little thing for Shani. So then the vendors canceled. And she's like, that was her second vendor they canceled because of the coronavirus. So she was basically like, oh my God. She calling Shani, and Shani basically like, yeah, girl, I think I'm going to go ahead and head on now and be with my family because, this stuff is running rampant. And Jackie like, I understand. And then she called OG, basically tell OG like, we're not going to be able to do it because Shani is leaving. And, it's understandable that she wants to, get her stuff on the road, get to moving because she ain't trying to see what's going on no more. Like, it's a lot. So, yeah. And again, they were showing everybody basically like talking about the pandemic and how hurt they was and what's going on. And then they show clips of what's to come. Like you see Malaysia and Jackie talking. You see the confrontations with other people talking. You see these ladies at like a get together or whatnot. You see a lot. So you see some of the Black Lives Matter stuff. You see Malaysia asking her kids if a police officer come to her and put a gun to her head, what they gonna do. So you see like they just showing like a lot of clips of what's to come. So yeah, for the first episode, I think the episode should get like I give them like a 7.5 or 8. They kept me interested. They made me want to see more. They're making me look forward by showing the ending clips, like what's going on this season that's coming up, how they really about to do this. So I'm really happy with this first episode. It wasn't really boring. It was like it had a mixture of drama, it had a mixture of being informative. It gave you like a good story on like every aspect. So I'll try to come to y'all next Tuesday. I'm gonna be out of town, so I don't know, but I'm gonna try to have something next Tuesday, or Wednesday. It won't be on Tuesday because I try to give people a chance to see the show somewhat, some people, but it may be like a Wednesday or Thursday. I'll come back and I'll talk to y'all about Basketball Wives episode 2, season whatever. You guys have a good night. Deuces. I'll be back with another video. And like, comment, share, and subscribe, guys. Like, bring some new people to my world. Y'all know. Let them in. So yeah, y'all. Deuces.